Most people are sleepwalking through life, surrounded by comfort, but drowning in quiet misery. They chase dopamine, not discipline. They crave ease, not excellence. You weren't born to be average, but society is conditioning you to stay weak. Not because you're incapable, but because they profit from your softness. What if I told you the things you avoid, the pain, the boredom, the silence, are the exact things that hold the keys to unstoppable power? This video isn't for the easily offended. It's for the few who are willing to hear the raw truth and actually act on it. If you're still here, then you're one of the few. Here are 8 Stoic laws that destroy weakness and rebuild your mind with steel. Number 1. Comfort is slowly killing you. You wake up and reach for your phone before you even touch your dreams. Your day begins in distraction, ends in exhaustion, and somewhere in the middle, you wonder why nothing is changing. You keep convincing yourself that you're just tired, that you'll try harder next week, that the world is too chaotic right now to build something for yourself. But deep down, you know the truth. You're stuck in a cycle of fake peace, and comfort is the silent predator. You don't chase purpose anymore. You chase ease, convenience, and numbing. You no longer desire excellence. You desire escape. You think comfort is your reward after hard work, but the reality is, most people live entirely in comfort and never work hard at all. The result? A generation addicted to feeling good and allergic to doing great. You've been programmed to believe discomfort is something to run from, but it's actually where your soul wakes up. Every time you dodge discomfort, you dodge growth. Every time you avoid challenge, you weaken your character. You're not stuck because of the system. You're stuck because your comfort zone has become your identity. The bed you snooze in, the fast food you order, the social media you binge, it's all training you to tolerate mediocrity. You don't need another motivational speech. You need a self-imposed discipline on comfort. Start by doing something hard every single day. Not for a reward, not for validation, but because it sharpens you. Get cold, get rejected, get up early, get uncomfortable. Choose the thing you fear and do it until it becomes familiar. The more you train in pain, the less fragile you become. You don't get hardened by ease, you get destroyed by it. True power is not found in the absence of discomfort, but in the mastery of it. Your future self isn't impressed by how often you felt good. Your future self is built on how often you chose the hard road when the easy one was free. Don't let comfort rob you of your edge. Choose the path that makes you stronger, not the one that keeps you soft. This is not a motivational quote. This is your alarm clock. Wake up. Number 2, you are not your feelings. You feel sad, so you do nothing. You feel lazy, so you cancel. You feel anxious, so you run. This is the average life. A puppet dragged by emotions and called mental health. But the truth is, you're not your sadness. You're not your anger. You're not your fear. You are the observer of it, the one with the power to lead despite it. But most people don't lead their feelings. They obey them. They confuse emotion with direction and feelings with facts, and that's why they live soft, unstable lives. You say you want to build a powerful life, yet your mood decides your discipline. You want success, but your feelings veto your actions every time things get inconvenient. You get triggered and make it your personality. You feel depressed and wear it like a name tag. That's not healing. That's surrender. You were never meant to be led by emotion. Emotion is like weather. It changes. It passes. It's not the captain of the ship. It's a signal on the dashboard. Your job is not to shut feelings down, but to master them. Don't act because you feel like it. Act because it's aligned with who you choose to become. Real strength isn't found in never feeling. It's in never letting feelings make your decisions. Emotional mastery begins when you stop reacting and start responding. When you realize a negative mood isn't a reason to quit. When you realize your feelings don't need to agree with your vision for you to move forward. The modern world teaches you to worship how you feel, but that path only leads to mental weakness, entitlement, and collapse. The new way? Feel everything, but move with discipline anyway. Train yourself to act in discomfort, to stick to the plan even when your emotions betray you. This is the difference between those who succeed and those who self-destruct. The winners walk through hell with clarity. The lost wait for heaven to feel motivated. Discipline isn't a feeling, it's a decision. Don't wait to feel ready. Act like you're built for it, and soon you will be. Number 3, life isn't fair, and that's okay. People walk around with a deep, aching confusion, wondering why life keeps smacking them while others who lie, cheat, or coast through effortlessly seem to succeed. That quiet resentment is destroying them from the inside. They work hard, stay loyal, do what's right, yet life keeps handing them chaos, loss, and betrayal. And they can't understand why it still hurts so much when they've done everything right. But life doesn't run on moral math. It doesn't reward effort with fairness, and it definitely doesn't stop the storm just because you learned your lesson. The truth? Life tests strength, not intentions. When you understand that life isn't built to make you comfortable or respected or even validated, but to forge you, everything shifts. The rules change. You stop playing victim to circumstances and start asking, how do I sharpen myself inside this unfairness? Every betrayal becomes a training ground for trust in yourself. Every failure becomes a feedback loop. Every time someone disrespects you despite your goodness, you learn where your boundaries should be. Fairness keeps you dependent on external reward. But freedom lives in facing the unfair world with such inner power that you stop needing it to cooperate. It's not about becoming cold, it's about becoming unshakable. You don't have to like the unfairness. You just need to become stronger than the impact of it. Stop expecting life to stop punching. Start training to punch back harder, not with bitterness, but with brutal, relentless strength. When you learn how to stay focused, strategic, and peaceful in a world that doesn't owe you understanding, you become the most dangerous version of yourself. Kind, but not fragile. Loving, but not dependent. Loyal, but never naive. That's what makes the unfair world your playground, not your prison. Number 4, no one's coming to save you. There's a deep part of people that still waits for someone or something to make it easier. A mentor, a miracle, a perfect moment. They wait for healing to come from someone else's love, for clarity to fall out of the sky, or for purpose to magically appear in their inbox one morning. This mindset is emotional suicide. No one is coming. There is no secret formula waiting for you behind the next click. And even if someone wanted to save you, they couldn't carry the weight of your wasted potential. You've got to get off the floor. You've got to look at your messy, chaotic, unfiltered life and say, I fix this, I build this. That's the moment you stop being a passive character in your own story. The hard part? People cling to their suffering because it feels familiar. The pain is known, the work to escape it is unknown, so they stay in the hell they know instead of climbing out into a heaven that demands discipline. And the longer you wait for a savior, the deeper you sink into powerlessness. The world won't hand you anything. It'll keep moving while you freeze. Your mental health, your financial situation, your emotional state. It's your responsibility now. And if you're waiting for the right conditions, you'll die waiting. Start building in the storm. Start leading yourself with trembling hands if you have to. Get organized even when it hurts. Set goals even if you feel lost. Do the next hard thing, even while your past screams at you to collapse. Because every step you take in self-rescue teaches your brain, I'm not waiting, I'm rising. And that's when life starts changing, not because it gets easier, but because you get heavier, clearer, louder inside. And once you become your own hero, no one can threaten your peace again, not abandonment, not betrayal, not silence, because you've already faced the void and realized you are enough to rebuild from nothing. Number 5. Pain is a teacher, not a punishment. Most people go through life trying to avoid pain like it's a virus. But in reality, pain is the ultimate mentor and the most honest mirror. Pain never lies. It shows you exactly where you're soft, where you're still attached, where you're still bleeding from things you pretended to move on from. The real tragedy isn't that people suffer, it's that they run from suffering before they can learn from it. Pain is the space between who you are and who you're supposed to become. But instead of facing it, people medicate it. They scroll, drink, binge, gamble, sleep, anything to numb that sharp edge that might lead them to truth if they sat in it long enough. But when you avoid pain, you avoid growth. Every hardship is a curriculum. Every loss is a spiritual detox. That heartbreak? It's not punishment. It's a spotlight on your need for external validation. That betrayal? It's not bad luck. It's your warning system screaming, tighten your circle, raise your standard. If you want a strong mind, you have to be willing to bleed a little, to sweat, cry, fall, and crawl, knowing that every scar is sacred if you extract the lesson. Don't just suffer, study your suffering. Mine it for wisdom. Ask why it hit so deep. What illusion did it break? What expectation did it expose? What part of your ego needed to die in that fire? When you stop seeing pain as punishment and start seeing it as a custom-designed workshop for your evolution, you stop fearing it. You lean in. You grow teeth. You become immune to emotional chaos because you've trained in the fire. That's when life gets dangerous for the pain itself, because it can no longer control you. Number 6. Most people live in chains. They don't see. There is a silent prison most people never escape, not because they can't, but because they never notice the bars. And the worst part? The chains aren't made of metal, they're made of comfort, reputation, likes, status, and shallow validation. They live in performance mode. They smile when they want to scream. They agree when they want to rebel. They follow when they know the truth inside them is begging to lead. These people aren't living, they're acting. They fear being disliked more than they fear dying unnoticed. They fear judgment more than they fear living a lie. Every day they choose to keep up a version of themselves that is safe, inoffensive, easy to digest. But inside, they are dying. This is slavery in its most seductive form because it rewards you for being obedient. You get applause for being agreeable. You get praise for blending in. But you lose yourself. You lose your voice. You lose your capacity for rage, truth, honesty, and wild, unapologetic living. Real freedom is silent. It doesn't post for approval. It doesn't beg for likes. It doesn't shrink for comfort. Real freedom is waking up and doing what your soul demands, even if no one claps, even if they mock you, even if they cancel you. You want to be free? Burn the fake version of you to the ground. Say what you believe. Cut the fake friendships. Delete the shallow goals. Redesign your life like your soul is finally in charge. Because once you stop needing the world to approve of you, you start designing a life that actually fulfills you. Number 7. The world owes you nothing. The most dangerous lie you've ever been told is that your struggle deserves reward. That because you've been through pain, life should pay you back with ease. That lie keeps millions stuck in victimhood, crying over what they haven't received instead of building what they want. The truth is brutal. Life doesn't care what you deserve. It gives what you fight for, what you demand with your actions. not your tears. Entitlement is a spiritual disease. It poisons your vision. It makes you weak, resentful, lazy, and self-righteous. You think you should have success by now. Prove it. You think you deserve loyalty because you're loyal. That's not how it works. The world isn't a mirror. It's a battlefield. The more you expect it to reward you, the more it will punish you. If you want power, you must learn to take without waiting for permission, build without needing applause, serve without needing thanks. The truth is, you get nothing for showing up. You get everything for surviving, adapting, rising, and repeating. Most people will never get this. They'll die complaining about what never came. But the rare few will rise, shake off the victim identity, and become something terrifying, unentitled and unstoppable. Those people don't need promises. They don't need luck. They build every inch of their life with blood and clarity. And when they look back, they don't thank life for giving. They thank themselves for never quitting. That's power. Number 8, your thoughts build or break you. Everything starts in your head. Your world is a mirror of your internal beliefs. You don't rise higher than your thoughts. And most people walk around living in mental cages they didn't even build. Hand-me-down beliefs from weak parents, broken systems, fear-driven media, and decades of self-loathing. Every day they speak failure over themselves. I'm not good enough. I always mess up. No one cares. And they wonder why nothing changes. But if you listened to how they speak to themselves, you'd understand they're not even giving life a chance to bless them. The most important battle you'll ever fight isn't out there. It's the battle in your mind. Your mind controls your emotions. Your emotions control your behavior, and your behavior shapes your life. You want a better life? Change your thinking, not with fake positivity, not with forced affirmations, but with brutal mental discipline. You must audit every thought. You must guard your focus like your life depends on it, because it does. The thoughts you tolerate are the behaviors you normalize. You think like a failure, you'll act like one. You think like a winner, you'll walk differently, talk differently, demand differently. You must train your mind to be your ally. Feed it truth, feed it clarity, starve the lies, starve the fear. Choose thoughts that add weight to your spine and silence to your doubts, and repeat them until you forget you ever thought small. Because once you think like a warrior, the world has no choice but to treat you like one. Most people will watch this and feel inspired for a moment. Then they'll go back to their comfort. But you, if you're still here, it means something in you refuses to stay the same. This isn't about motivation, it's about liberation. Every truth you just heard isn't a quote, it's a command. Act on it, or stay soft, stay stuck, stay average. You can either obey your feelings or master them, expect fairness or build resilience, wait for rescue or become unstoppable. You can't do both. If this video woke something up inside you, like the video and subscribe to the channel. There are people out there living in quiet defeat who need these truths. Every share, every comment, every like helps break another chain. Support the channel and support the mission of making mental strength the new norm.